straight into his face, hopefully from this angle. Look at that. Now for those of you that had guessed what they were before we got here, I'm sure you're quite happy to see them. For those of you that didn't guess, we were talking about the Mapogos. These are these male lions we've been talking a lot, or talking about a lot. And this one, just looking at him there from this front view, he's the one they call Mr. T. He's got a little bit of a comic look to him. Look at him from the side there, slightly alternative hairstyle. But if you're a Mapogo lion, no one laughs at your hairstyle. Very lucky for us. They've been in the vicinity the last few days. They killed a buffalo just inside Manyaleti, but just too far north for us to get to, both because we're not allowed there and also signal-wise would have been too far. But it seems they decided to come and lie just on the boundary today, which is a big bonus for us. Very, very glad to see these lions. I haven't seen them since December, when we had that amazing, dramatic, exciting and a bit sad morning when we had that lion cub killed by them. And then we saw 4 of them over the course of the morning on a giraffe carcass and moving around. So it's very, very special for me. First time this year, first time since December that I've seen these lions. Look at that face. Oh, beautiful yellow eyes. Jan knows something. Jan, I'm sure you can hear me, but I'm going to be on the other channel, the Game Drive channel. If you need to talk to me, just call me there. It seems the radio is giving a problem. Two males together there. Fantastic eyes. That's one of the things that struck me about these lions first time I saw them. A couple of things that came to mind first off. One was the fact that they all look very lean and fit and like Spartan warriors. And I might from time to time refer to this coalition as the Spartans. That's actually what they were called before they were called the Mapogos. In the south they were known as the Spartan Pride or the Spartan Coalition. So that's one of the things that caught my attention the first time. Very lean, fit, strong looking lions, but also their eyes. They really have got a bit of an extra wild look. Look at those eyes. And again, just seeing them now just reminds me of that. There is something very special about these lions. It's not just by random coincidence that they've cleaned up such a large area. Everything from southern Sabi Sands all the way to the north. They've removed quite a few other male lions. Obviously the size of the coalition, at the moment we're looking at 2 of them, but sometimes they 4. Typically we see 4 of them up in the north here, and even as many as 6 together. So the size has been a big benefit for them, but also I think there's a sheer sort of wild, dominant, tenacious aspect to them that has made them very successful up to now. Let's get a little bit closer. Give you a real close look at those amazing faces. Always thrilling to see lions as well. Just look at that. 2 mirror images of each other. Look straight into his eyes. He's looking back at you at the moment. Look at that. Just heard something. See, just suddenly popping up. Also, Mr. T, as they call him, because of that little mohawk that he's got going on the top of his head. He seems to be a little bit more alert, a little bit more jumpy. Not quite sure which is the male in the back. We'll see when he gets up. Maybe we can see a bit of a mark on him. Look at those canines. It's nice to see male lions again. It's been months for me, and it really is something that energy surrounding them that is really special. Obviously, the biggest predator out here. Quite often people do refer to them as the king of the jungle, the king of the savannah, but there is something very special about a big male lion. A little difficult to see. You can see it in that male lying down still, but they do have very full bellies. Like I mentioned earlier, they've been eating on a buffalo for a few days, probably quite close to leaving it alone. Now, I heard the guy say now there's a lot of hyenas in the carcass, so it means these lions aren't defending the food anymore. They've probably eaten most of it, and after a couple of days of eating, they could now easily go for 4 or 5 days a week even without eating again. Get back to their patrolling and marauding and dominating very large territory that they've got to keep a hand on. Just out of interest, we spoke about how much that hippo can eat earlier. Lynn was asking. Lions also have got the capability or the ability to eat a very large amount. If they're quite hungry, they can eat up to 20% of their own body weight. Case of a big male lion, let's say these guys, they're not the biggest lions I've ever seen, but let's put them around the 200 kilogram mark, 440, 450 pounds. That means that a big male lion can eat 40 kilograms of meat in one go if they're hungry. I mean, that's just an amazing amount. That's half my body weight. But then again, looking at that belly, you can almost imagine that quite easily. In Afrikaans, we've got a saying. It goes, "Ooghies vol magie, magie vol ooghies toe," which probably just sounds like a bunch of funny noises to you. But if I translate that for you, it means when your belly is full, your eyes draw closed. This is the case here. Interestingly enough, both these lions have found a nice sandy spot, a nice sandy area to lie on. Just gives them a little bit more of a comfortable mattress, if you want.
Might couple them. Could be updated.